Hi, I'm Joanna. Welcome to my channel. This is my 22nd video. Today I'm going to review 4 books, 3 fiction, 1 nonfiction. Let's get started. The first book is Old School Indian by Arron John Curtis. In this novel, the main character is Abe Jacobs. He is a Mohawk Indian. He has been away from the reservation where he was raised for almost 25 years. But now he is sick. He has a rare, insufferable disease, and he's dying. He has a great Uncle Budge, who is known to be a healer. But even though Abe is not a true believer in his uncle's abilities, he's desperate. His uncle takes him down, a very introspective journey, and this was the best parts of the book for me. As a reader, we get some insight through Abe's perception of what it's like to live on the reservation, its simplicities, its strongholds, etc. The author tells a really good story, incorporating, the Indian culture, food, cooking, language, customs, and all around general practices. For example, if someone sends a family a pot of food, if they return the pot, they have to return the pot full of food because it's bad. It's like a curse or bad luck. If you don't, it's kind of like a symbol of future starvation, things like that. I was able to connect with Abe emotionally. I was very sympathetic, and I loved the ending. The author develops the other characters very richly and very authentically. I enjoyed this book. I was invested. I do have an issue with the sex graphic scenes. I passed through them. I did not really read them. There were many of them, and I thought they were unnecessary. Overall, I did enjoy the book, aside from the porn, and so for that reason, I give this 3.5 stars. Book number 2, The Summer Guest by Tess Gerritsen. Tess Gerritsen is an American author. She was once a practicing physician, so her genres are crime and thrillers, and we always get a little taste of her medical background in her writing, and I like that. So the Summer Guest novel is her second book. The first one is The Spy Coast. I did read that one, and it was good, but you don't necessarily have to read it to enjoy this one. I believe they stand alone, but you would be familiar with the characters if you read it. So the setting is in a small town in Maine. The Conover family, they come over for a summer visit. The father actually was raised there. He grew up there. And as soon as they arrive, their daughter, Zoe, goes for a swim in the pond. And very soon she discovers there are bones at the bottom of that pond. And it's actually a young girl named Anna. And she's been under the pond for many, many years. Soon after, Zoe goes missing. And then there are these a group of retirees who are ex-spies, and there is Joe, who is the chief of police. Joe resolves to work with the retirees to problem solve and find Zoe. The investigation slowly connects Zoe's disappearance with young Anna's murder, the girl that was found in the pond long ago. And then it opens up to a much bigger conspiracy. The writer depicts each character with distinct qualities, distinct personalities. I was able to understand them, to connect with them. There are some twists. So, I was wondering how the author was going to bring all this together to a satisfying conclusion. It's not that predictable. It's fast-paced. It's a fun read. It's great for plane rides, long waiting times, because it'll keep you absorbed. It did me. I liked this book. It's entertaining, and I give it 4 stars. Book number 3, Before Dorothy by Hazel Gaynor. Hazel Gaynor is an English author, and she writes historical fiction. She's amazing. I don't know if there's anyone in the country who is not familiar with The Wizard of Oz or of Wicked, the production. This author writes a beautiful narrative of before. She gives the backstory on Auntie Em, Uncle Henry, and even Dorothy's parents. We learn how Dorothy comes to live with Auntie Em and Uncle Henry. We learn how she meets the dog Toto. And of course the setting is in Kansas. So the time is during the Dust Bowl, and we get history about that. She writes so vividly, so descriptively. I got excited when I met the character, the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, the Lion. I mean, the way they surface slowly, when you realize who they are, it's kind of fun. The author weaves together all the characters so beautifully. There are no questions unanswered. This novel is beautifully written. It's a very relaxing read. I could have stayed with the story for days. That's how much I enjoyed reading the story. And I'm impressed with this author. I just love her prose. I give this 5 stars, hands down. Book number 4, my nonfiction book. The Next Day, Transition, Change, and Moving Forward by Melinda French Gates. Okay, Melinda French Gates comes from a great home, a beautiful upbringing, pristine education, very privileged. Not many of us can say that. Our commonality? She's a woman. She found love. She had children. She divorced. She soldiered on. Melinda Gates gives us insight as to how she became who she is. She writes about her upbringing, her personal struggles, her ideals, and she talks a lot about her spirituality, and it comes across in a very sincere way. She writes about her time at Microsoft and about her marriage to Bill Gates, but she is very careful not to write about intimate moments or very careful not to disparage Bill Gates. Honestly, in her writings, I got a sense of her humanity. I felt her pain, and I was inspired. I'm glad I read her book. It's nice to know that, people are just people, and we do all experience very similar things, no matter our social standing or our class. And so she's inspirational. It's a short book. I give this 4 stars.